So open your music and you will see that the first section, the first 16 measures, has a repeat sign after it. Second 16 has a repeat sign. So now we have our A and we have our B. All right, in each section, we are going to divide that down into 2 more practice sections. So every 8 measures is a practice section. The next thing that you want to do is scan through the first 2 lines, look to see if there's anything strange, anything weird that you don't understand. I wouldn't worry about the little ornaments right now, except in measure 8. This is what we're going to do. The B is going to come on count 1, and the A is going to come on count 2. So it's 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3. It's very 1, 2 when it's hands together. So it's just the B is a quarter note, the A is a half note. So you start at the beginning after or wherever your 8 measures you want to start, and you scan through it. Make sure that you see all the fingering, make sure that you notice all the notes. If there's any rhythms or notes you don't understand, figure them out before you start. Studies. The basic plan is this. You're going to take the right hand and you're going to play it through 4 times. You're going to count, you're going to make sure all the fingering is correct. If you make mistakes, stop, go back and start again. So the first part would be 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2, 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and so forth. Don't go too far, 8 measures at the most, because you want to keep the section short enough that as you repeat, you remember everything. Too long of a section, you'll figure something out, but by the time you get back to it, you will have forgotten and you'll keep practicing that mistake. So after you've done the right hand 4 times, the left hand, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. This is the hand nobody wants to do. Yeah, it can be kind of boring or difficult. And at the beginning, I would just keep it hand separate, and then I would move on to another group of 8 measures. And my practice tip to you is don't go down to the next 8 measures, move to the other page. You have 2 groups of 8 measures. You can start at measure 25 and go to the end, or you can start at measure 17 and go to measure 24. Those 8 measures, each hand 4 times. The next day, as you come back, you can repeat those 2 sections until you feel like they're under your fingers. Then you can add a section. Well, in measure 13, 14, 15, and 16, you think you're starting all over again. And it runs all the way through to there. The last 2 measures of section A are different from the 2 measures of the first 8 measures. So you want to make sure that you practice those. You can even do what's back-to-back practicing, where you play measures 7 and 8, then measures 15 and 16. And you can go back and forth. And you can even do it when we get into hands together. I do want to jump over to measures 25. You're going to look at 25 and 26. It looks a little strange. And it's got what's called part writing in the left hand. The right hand is very self-explanatory. The left hand, however, you see a quarter rest, and you see a half note with the stem going up, and then you see below it, you see a half note with the stem going down. It's simple part writing. And what Bach is wanting you to do is to, on count 1, you play the B in the left hand. Count 2, you add the D. Then on the end of count 2, you lift the B so you can replay it so the measure ends up like this. So it was one of the tricks that they used in the Baroque time period to create a little more overlapped sound, since there was no pedal on the harpsichord. So it would be, so now we're together, then we lift, all right, so get comfortable at it, hands separate, hands together. When you do hands together, you want to again have another plan of attack, so to speak. Start with reviewing the right hand, whatever 8 measures you want to start with. Review the right hand a couple times, review the left hand a couple times. Then I would do repetition at least 4 times hands together. But whatever music you do not practice, make sure you review hand separate, because all that hand separate work will go away if you spend a week not practicing it. Work on whatever you want to work on and then review everything else a couple times hand separate. Couple little tips for finishing it up hand separate. Again, be really careful. Measure 13, 14, 15, and 16. It's completely different. You should have gotten that when you were doing hand separate, but it may need extra practice. Also, if you're going through and you play through it 4 times and it falls apart on, say, measure 6 or measure 7 every time, then go and focus your practice on those 2 measures or 3 measure area that is giving you trouble. And again, do your set practice. You can do 4 times right hand, 4 times left hand, 4 times hands together. And having this set practice plan that, again, we can expand upon as you progress, gives you something when you sit down and you look at a piece and go, I don't know what to practice, you at least know how to do that set practice routine. Real quick thing, really watch your fingering, especially in measure 28, where, and then it changes to a 4 and a 5. You don't go back to the 1 and go back up. You change to the 5, and then you've got your thumb right on D. And in this, measures 21 and 29 are good examples of why we practice scales, because they have that basic scale fingering. That's almost a complete A major scale with that thumb under on D. And then on measure 29, that is almost a D major scale. So this is why we practice scales. And I hope this helps. The book that I always use, and I'm using right now, is Essential Keyboard Repertoire, Volume 1. Lynn Freeman Olson is the editor. You can find this piece in many different editions. So good luck with it. If you have any questions or you have any comments, please let me know what helped, what didn't help, so I can improve upon the future continuing practice lessons that we're going to do. Thanks.